Good morning, West Coast. Good afternoon, East Coast. Hello to everybody in between and outside. It's Ian the Off Kilter Crafter, and I hope you're having a great Sunday so far. It is getting cooler. It is getting much cooler here in the DMV area, and I'm starting to learn the terminology of DMV. I wore a little bit of a longer sleeve because I actually needed it when I went out and ran a quick errand this morning. So it's getting cooler. The leaves are changing. It's fall here and I love it so much better than Texas. I was actually thinking that as I was driving today and looked up at the trees. Since I don't commute for work, I don't really notice the changing of the seasons all that much, but I definitely was like driving along and I looked up and I was like, oh, wow, those are orange and yellow and red, and it's definitely very noticeable now. So very cool to have that going on. Hope everybody's having a great day. We got Jaja Brownie, Pat, Kathy, Greenland Quilter is here. Hi, Katie. Good to see you. Catherine, Laura, Chris is here. Good afternoon, everybody. Kathy, the names are flying by too quickly for me to catch up. So if you are here, thank you guys so much for being here. I greatly appreciate all of you. And I see a couple of names in green. Thank you guys so much for being channel members and supporting my channel. We'll probably see a little less of people in here today because if you didn't know, today is Becca's VIP Zoom session. So if you are a part of her VIP program, including those memberships that I gifted on Friday, if you have any of those memberships that I gave to you on Friday, you are included in that. So you are able to access the Zoom. So make sure to check that out. Go over to her YouTube channel and look on the community tab for details on that. But I hope those who are in the Zoom are enjoying it, and they can always watch the replay later or, you know, whatever, no big deal. So we will probably have a few less people in the chat today, but that is okay. That is perfectly fine. Let's see. Lynn, I think that's, is that Lynn? Lyne, I think that is. Good morning, everyone. I'm working on a turtle quilt today. No change of the levels in Phoenix. Are we talking about the flooding? Is that what's going on in Phoenix? I've been out of the loop a little bit, to be honest. So I've been a little out of it. Let's see. Changing of the leaves here in Western Washington. Isn't it beautiful, Kathy? It's so beautiful to see the leaves changing and everything. I love it so much. So I don't really have a lot to talk about today. Sorry, I just looked up and saw something. You can't see it off screen, thankfully. I just looked up and saw that it was hanging there that is not supposed to be visible yet, and thankfully it's not because it is off camera, so you won't be able to see it. It's actually the Puzzle Mystery Quilt for Flyaway, which, by the way, just so you know, that is coming to an end. We have Clue 10 coming our way very soon. I will be a part of the reveal over on the Cotton Cuts YouTube channel, so make sure to check that out. Margot, thank you so much for becoming a fan on Fat Quarter Fan here on my YouTube channel. Greatly appreciate your member support. Snow, Shirley in Alaska. Oh, well, that makes sense. Alaska. Shirley says we now have snow on the ground. I was about to be like, oh, where? But Alaska, that tracks. Let's see. Good morning. I'm so tired, says Def Diablo. I went to Target to the crazy popular Wicked Stanley. Oh, did you get one? Did you get one? Did you get both? Did you get all? Tell me more. Anywho, we've got the Clue 10 coming up for the Puzzle Mystery Quilt Flyaway. That is coming up quickly. You should have already Clue 9, I believe. I'm a little ahead of y'all, so it's hard for me to keep track of like who's doing what. So yeah, it's hard for me to keep track of like who does what, when, where, and why. Anyways, we are almost. Oh, you got 3 of them? Awesome. You're sending one to me, right? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding. One of each. Oh, awesome. I didn't know that there were 3. I figured there'd be 2 for pink and green. I didn't realize that there were 3 of them. So yeah, Clue 10 soon on the way. Make sure to check that out when it comes out from Cotton Cuts because there'll be the big reveal. It'll be a big thing on YouTube, on their Facebook, on their Instagram, maybe. Maybe they don't do Instagram. Definitely YouTube. So check that out when they do the big Clue reveal. I will tell you, I did not guess it, and I would not have been able to guess it. It is very different. It is very different. And I like how it turned out, but I never would have been able to guess it because it does not fit the kind of past quilts that they've done. It's different, very different. So, all right, so let's go ahead and get started. What are we doing today? Well, we are continuing on working on the pattern, which I have apparently misplaced. I've misplaced my paper copy of it. Anywho, it is the Fat Quarter Sampler, I think is what it's called. It is down in the description. If you go down in the description of this video, you should be able to see the title and the link for it. If you are in live chat currently, you can type exclamation pattern in the chat. That'll also bring up the link for the pattern, so feel free to go grab that pattern. It is a free pattern. And as I warned last time, when we were live streaming last time, she warns either in the, I know she warns it in the video, but in the instructions she may also warn it. I can't remember off the top of my head. She warns that you need 21.5 inches of usable fabric. So selvage needs to be excluded from that. So make sure as you're working on this quilt, if you decide to take it on, that you have that 21.5 inches of fabric, of usable fabric, because you're going to need it. You're going to need it in order to do what you need to do. Hi, Zaza. Good to see you. Let's see. Greenland Quilter says, no snow here, just warm temperatures for this time of year. What is warm temperatures for this time of year, Katie? I'm curious what it should be and what it actually is right now. It is, well, I don't have my temperature thing up, but it is, it's like 60s right now, which for Texas is unheard of because it was like 90 degrees around this time of year, a little over a year ago, I think it was. So yeah. Anywho, so we're going to continue working on putting it together. I did lay it out. I did finish all of my pieces. I laid them out and have a... I forgot how big a 90 by 90 inch quilt is. I'm glutton for a punishment, I feel like. So we're going to get as far as we can today. Probably are not going to finish it. I will probably finish it off live stream. Or maybe I'll go live another day, or I don't know what. I'm also thinking about doing a random live stream tomorrow because in theory, I should have a delivery of gray work coming tomorrow. If I wanted to go live unboxing that, would y'all even watch? You've seen the fabric all over the internet. I don't even know why I would be going live other than to ooh, ah, and fondle the fabric. I don't know. Katie says, above freezing, the lake hasn't even shown signs of freezing. It is too warm. Goodness gracious. Shirley says we currently have 31 degrees at 10:09 a.m. Wow. That is pretty chilly. Right. Love Loathingly says, clock app for the finish. Maybe we will do that. Maybe we will do it over on the clock app. Who knows? And if you're not up with the lingo, the clock app is the TikTok app. That's what that is. So... Catherine says, yes, she would watch me unbox fabric, even though we've already seen the fabric. I feel crazy for being like, do y'all want that? Because I don't know. But, you know, hey. Go live. Love it when you do. Love, love, love. All right. Judy says that we should go live as well. So maybe we will go live. Yep, I'm watching on Great Work Arriving. It's pretty, it's flooding the market right now, isn't it? It is getting out there and going out to the masses. Let's see, it is 76 degrees here in Phoenix in the East Valley, says Def Diablo. Let's get started. Let's switch cameras. Speaking of Chili's, what's for dinner today? Okay, I feel like I'm going to spark a debate here because I have heard people, instead of saying lunch and dinner, they will say supper and, no, they'll say dinner. So lunch would be dinner and supper is dinner. No. They will substitute dinner for lunch and supper for dinner. I've never understood that. It's a Southern thing, I feel like. But I've just never understood it because I'm like, no, lunch is lunch and dinner is dinner. I don't know what the supper is you're speaking of, but no. Just no. Let's see. NTL says we're a balmy 81 degrees here in Las Vegas. Viva Las Vegas. You think I could be an Elvis impersonator? Laura says, I really wanted gray work, but I'm simply out of room. Well, Laura, I would tell you that you should never buy fabric when you don't have room for it, and yet here I am. Yet here I am. What could I say? Def Diablo says, I was born in Galveston, and I know the difference. I don't know. Catherine says, it's a Newfoundland thing, I guess. Depends on where you are. My father-in-law said dinner was lunch and supper was dinner. See, I don't get it. I don't understand that. Lynn says, originally from PA, and we always had breakfast dinner net. Breakfast dinner net? What is that? I don't know what that is. Emerald says, hi Ian and all from Texas. Love your hoodie. Thank you. It's actually just a sweatshirt. It's not a hoodie, but I thought it was super cute. And y'all know how much I love Bluey, because Bluey is the best. I should put Bluey on sometime because I just love watching it. Yes, I am almost 40 years old and I still watch Bluey. I mean, to be fair, Bluey wasn't on when I was a kid, so I feel like I missed out on it then. But Bluey's just so wholesome and such a great show. And they like the things that they put in there for the adults, and it's not even like dirty or anything like that. It's just humor that adults understand and get. The way Chili rolls her eyes at her husband, and it's just funny. It's just funny. In the South, dinner is a full hot meal. At the same time, others have lunch, and supper can be leftovers or meal like lunch, says Katie. Interesting. I've never heard that before. Norma says, my upstate New York native uses supper, 30 years in Washington, and I still say it. It's a weird thing for me. I don't understand. Def Diablo says, if you have a large meal around noon, we call it dinner, and then a smaller meal later, supper. Interesting. Zaza says, your main meal is dinner, whether you have it at lunchtime. Here it's now lunch, but I was a school dinner, not a school lunch. Huh? Oh, Esmeralda, no big deal. No big deal at all. No big deal at all. She's apologizing for calling it a hoodie. Hey, it looks like a hoodie. It looks like the hood. It just doesn't have the actual hood on it. So I could totally see how you could be, thinking it's a hoodie, because it sure looks like one. It definitely looks like a hoodie. So I'm curious, how many of you were at the virtual retreat yesterday? We had Steven from the Idiot Quilter. That is his name. That is the name of the YouTube channel. All that. I'm not calling him that. He had a virtual retreat that he hosted, and Becca, myself, John from our East, and Adam from Adam Sows. Yeah. They were all guests. We and they were all guests for the sewing retreat. So how many of you were there? It was a lot of fun. We had a good time. Becca and I gave a little bit of a talk, kind of interview style. And then we got to, let's see, is this the right size? Yes. And then we did a little panel kind of Q&A type situation later in the day. So we had a great time. Becca and I really enjoyed it, and thank you to Stephen for asking us to be there. Let's see. Kathy says we call it lunch and dinner here in Washington. That's what I always grew up with, but except for the fact that my grandparents would call it dinner and supper. And then I had some friends who would do the dinner and supper, and I never got it. Never understood. Marie Flowers says she was there. She had a lot of fun. Awesome. Ginny said she also attended the retreat, and it was fun meeting you. I'm so glad that you were there and enjoyed it. I really should have brought the table in here. I have a little side table that I can use to help distribute some of the weight. Probably should have brought that in here so that way I can put some of the weight on it as I am sewing these pieces together. Deb says she grew up on a farm and it was breakfast, land, and supper. I think she meant lunch. I think autocorrect got the best of her, so I'm assuming it was breakfast, lunch, and supper. That darn autocorrect. It's the worst. It got me several times this past week, and I had to keep apologizing to the person that I was texting, being like, I'm so sorry, this is autocorrect winning the match. He just laughed. He thought it was funny. I didn't think it was funny, but, you know, that's autocorrect for you. Melissa says, go get the table. We can talk amongst ourselves. All right, fine. I will go get the table. Charlotte says that the retreat was great. Loved it. Let's see. Marie says he's bringing in a lot of new fabrics. I must have missed a conversation there. Oh, Quilt Country in Louisville has a new male owned since August this year, and he's bringing in a lot of new fabrics. That's awesome. I'm going to go grab that table. I'm going to listen to Melissa. I'm going to grab that table. Y'all talk amongst yourselves. All right, there we go. Table has been acquired and is now being set up. There we go. All right, so now I can put some of the weight on the table instead of having it slide down onto the floor. We've only got one more for this top row. Oh no, I lied. We have several more for the top row. I thought we were on the last one. Nope, we have 3 more to put together. Whoops, my bad. My bad. Let's see. Margot says, I have a set rule not to buy any more fabric than my sewing room storage cabinets can hold. Anybody else have strategies not to collect fabric beyond your storage space capacities? How has it worked for you? That is a great question, and I am not the person to ask at all. Is this right? This doesn't feel right. Why doesn't this feel right? No, it is right. I don't know. Oh, no. Whatever. Because no matter which way I do it, it's going... So my thought process here is like, oh, wait, there's a seam right there. But if I flip it around, it's going to be a seam there too. So we'll just keep doing what I was doing. No big deal. We'll keep doing what I was doing. Anywho. And it's okay if the seams don't quite match up. It literally does not matter. This quilt is so busy and has so much going on that even if the alignments are slightly off, no one is going to notice it because there's so much other things that they're going to be looking at. I've already started thinking about how I want to get this quilted. I'll probably take this over to Becca's at some point. And have her quilt it or work on quilting it myself over at her house. It is not going to get done before Halloween though. That is for sure. I do not have the time to get it done before Halloween, but this will be a great quilt for next year. I see Love Loathingly. I think that's who that was. I just glanced up. Yeah, Love Loathingly says it has absolutely not worked for me because I'm always like, I always say fabric is fleeting. That's how I would feel about it. It's like, if I don't get it, I'm worried it will never be available again, and thus, oh, I have two of the same fabrics right after each other. Oh, well. I'm like, especially with like the Tula, like, you know, it'll go into these stash groups and sell for $100 million a yard. I'm exaggerating slightly, but you get the point. I gotta rethread. I hate this little gizmo in here that causes it to do that. Oh, hey, I've actually... My thread is wrapped around the needle. Oh, that's fun. How did I do that? Let's put the foot down. I'm gonna put my foot down! It's literally like tied itself into a knot around the needle. How the heck did it do that? I have no idea. There we go. All right, got it. Let's try this again. I didn't mean to do it that way, but whatever, it still works. Rethread. Let's see. Laura says, Catherine, I would need several lifetimes to use everything I've accumulated. I feel the same. I feel like I would need way more time than I'm going to have on this earth in order to use all the fabric that I have acquired. I was actually thinking that the other day. I was looking at my shelves going, you know, I really need to stop buying fabric. I have the same thing. I have the same thing happen to me. I'm always like, but I don't need any more fabric. I don't need to buy any more fabric. But I want it. Kathy says, gotta run. Bye, Ian and everyone. Have a great day and enjoy the rest of your day. Have a great day, Kathy. I hope you enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Thanks for stopping by. I am about to pull the whole thing on the floor. Tefs Diablo says maybe you need a larger storage space. I mean, that's the answer I would go for. Just get a bigger storage space. It's fine. It's fine. Life is short. Buy the fabric. I like that motto, Tweety Bird. That is a good motto to live by. Life is short. Buy the fabric. Laura says, Ian, it is so hard to resist beautiful fabric. We all need more beauty in our lives. Could not agree more. I have a whole bundle of Juicy Juice sitting over there just calling out to me to be used, and I have yet to use. I have an idea for it. I've already drawn up the pattern. I already want to you know, use it, make it. I just, time. I just don't have enough time. Catherine says, do you look at something in your stash and say, what was I thinking? I mean, there's been one or two pieces that I've been like, why did I buy that? Why did I buy that? I will tell you, there's nothing, like, if I look over at my stash right now, it is very few and far between. There are a couple of pieces that I'm like, what was I thinking when I bought that? Mostly it's like my random, I have a shelf of randoms. So it's like random fabrics that it's like stuff that I've collected in different places. And I look at it and for the most part, it's like fine. But there's one or two that I was like, what kind of mood was I in when I bought that? Tracy says for the year of 2025, she's been doing a no buy 25, except backing fabric to finish projects, and it hasn't been that bad. I have a generous bundles and pre-cuts that I bought, and now I'm setting them free. Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay, all right. I can see that. See if I can maybe set those right there. Oh no. I need to clean that mess back there. Thankfully you can't see it most of the time, but every now and again I'll lean the right way and you can see the mess behind my chair. Def Diablo says, I look and think, what was I thinking? Why didn't I buy more? I get that. While we are waiting for my iron to heat up, I'm going to press these open, by the way. I'm going to tell you, I was today years old when I learned that the Norwegian Navy actually puts barcodes on the sides of their ships. So that way, as the ships come back to port, they can Scandinavian. You're welcome, everybody. You're welcome. I'm waiting for the groans. I'm just waiting for the chat to fill with groans. Oh boy. Carol says, I tend to buy fabrics in collections I think will look great together. Margot says, yep, I may have invaded other rooms. Much to my husband's dismay, the fabric storage is in the guest bedroom. It happens. It happens. There it is. There's the joke. The joke just landed on online. Boo! Oh, I didn't want to go that far over. Let me trim that thread real quick. I meant to do this at, what I'm doing is I have an open seam here, and so I'm just going to, at about 1/8 of an inch, just do a little stay stitch basically to keep it in place. It's going to get hidden when it gets sewn together. Melissa says, oh my god, I love it, Scandinavian. Donna Armstrong says, that was so bad. I learned that one from TikTok. I had to share that one because it got me too. She got me too. She did it straight face just like I did. And I was like, oh, barcodes, what? Laura says, I love that. I just told, oops, something just happened. June, thank you for subscribing. Thank you so much, June. June will probably be in the chat here in about 5 minutes. So we can't wait to hear from you, June. Laura says, I love that. I just told my husband and he loved it. There you go. There you go. Sharing the wealth. Scandinavian. Nope, we can't do it that way. We got to do it the long way. I love these Aliso mat. I mean, look how nice. Oh, you can't see. Look how nice. Like, I don't even have them. They're separate at the moment, but they're like perfect right there, and I can sit here and press my seams open. So. Don't forget, I do have an Aliso affiliate link over on my website, so make sure to go check that out. If you're thinking about buying an Aliso or Aliso products, make sure to check that out. Shameless plug. Oh my, what just happened? My volume was up really loud and it scared me. Bobby, thank you so much for the super chat. Celebration horns to you. Thank you so much. That was so sweet. really scared. I got surprised. I mean, not scared per se, but it surprised the heck out of me for sure. Let's see. Charlotte has been a member for 17 months. Awesome. Congratulations. Thank you so much for being a awesome channel member. Don't forget, we do have the member Zoom coming up next month. It's almost here. It's like time is flying. I think it's the second weekend or the second Saturday in November, so make sure to check that information out. It's listed on my website, and there will be a community link. You'll get a community post for the link, so if you're unfamiliar with where to go to get the link, you'll need to come here onto YouTube and click the community tab, and the link for it will be there. Oh, Catherine says, sending love. She's been a member for 20 months. Thank you so much for being a member. Greatly appreciate you. Celebrations for 20 months. It's hard to, can you believe that? 20 months? Whoa. 17 months, 20 months. That's crazy. Time sure does fly. Been here a year. Can you believe that? That's mind-blowing. I love this little mini Aliso. It's perfect for right here. It's so perfect. I'm trying to fill time is what I'm doing. I'm not trying to sell you products. I'm literally just trying to fill time. Because it can be kind of boring, I know, just sitting there watching paint dry, but here we are. Halloween is next week, hard to believe it. There's a chance I'll be over on Becca's. We haven't decided yet whether or not. I'm trying to see if, I would love to like go to a Halloween party or something, but I think all my friends here are busy or you know, there's other things going on, so I don't think I'm gonna have. I don't think I'm gonna have any plans. And so Becca, y'all have said you want to see me over on her channel for Halloween. I did say, you know, hey, what if I? Oh, somebody else. Let's see. Jonathan, thank you so much for being a member. Kind of just wanted the jump scare. Thankfully, that alert is much quieter. So it's the super chats that are the jump scare right now, apparently. They're so much louder than anything else. I don't know why. But apparently the super chats are what's loud. You are anything but boring. Thank you, Donna. I appreciate that so much. Layla says, we don't use the formal dining room, so when I got my first bolts of fabric, I lined them up there. But now Thanksgiving is coming and we need to find a new solution. Oh boy. Good luck with that, Layla. Good luck with that. I can't hold this whole row is going to be too big for me to hold up. But here is your, you know, sneaky peeky on what the rows kind of look like when you put them together. Look how fun all this fabric is put together. I love it. I love it. Bobby, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it at all. It was funny. It was very funny. So I laughed. Everything's great. I was just not expecting it. Because you hear the other alerts, they're not as loud, and suddenly that one comes in and it's super loud. Not at all, Bobby. Not at all. It's all good. It's all good. Laura says she loves her Aliso irons. The cat and book fabric is my favorite, says Layla. I like it too. What did I do with the other rows? Oh, right. I put it. I knew that. My bad. Laura says she is loving this. Laura, me too. Me freaking too. Whoa, jump scare. All right, here we go. Marie, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Horns to you. And freak out for me. Thank you for the jump scare. Maybe that should be one of my new things. When you donate a certain amount, I get a jump scare. Mommy says you make me giggle. I'm glad I do. Why is that so much louder? Is it louder to y'all or is it the same? Because it's louder for me. And I'm worried that it's like too loud for y'all. I am so sorry if that's the case. I don't know how or why. I missed last week's show. What pattern? What's the pattern called you are making? I love it. Tracy, it is the fat quarter sampler, I believe. If you type exclamation point in the chat, it'll get you the free pattern. So that way you can check it out. It's getting hot. Wonder how many jump scares Ian will have today. I don't know, Laura. I'm actually a little worried. I'm actually slightly worried. It's pretty loud, but no worries. I am so sorry, guys. I don't know why it is so much louder than everything else. I'm at a loss for that. I do apologize for that. I will work on trying to figure out what's going on with it and why it's so much louder. It's just great. I love it, says Leslie. Well, I'm glad that you like it. I'm glad that you like it. I apologize if any of you are listening on like headphones or anything. I apologize for the loss of hearing function with it being louder. Sorry. Pattern is fat quarter mixer. Thank you. That's what it is. From Material Girls. Thank you. I was like, I don't think that I'm saying that right, but I wasn't sure. Seems a little weird. Lots of ads today. I'm always feeling like I'm missing something. Lynn, there should not be any ads on it. I should have those turned off. I don't know what's going on. Whoa, jump scare. Laura, thank you so much for the $9 super chat, $9.99 super chat. Jump scare and love. Thank you for all that you do. Thank you so much, Laura. I appreciate that. That is really, it is so much louder. I'm so sorry, guys. Oh, and I just realized I have two of the same fabric again, one block after another. You know, that's the good thing. I laid these out on the floor because it's too big for me to fit on my design wall here. And you know what? It's awesome because I didn't even notice that. It's done it twice now and I haven't even noticed that. Okay, a lot of people are saying they're not having ads, so I don't know what's going on. Make sure that you are signed in. No, even then it should. I don't know. YouTube does stuff and I never know. It's probably a new feature. I don't know. Just, you know, some days. Someday, pals, straight to the moon. Zaza says, I'm glad I wasn't the only one who pooped themselves. It's happening over here, Zaza. It is happening here for me. Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know. I will have to look at that and just that. Wow, Judy, I don't understand. Judy says that she's gotten 2 ads so far since the start of the broadcast. Weird. Exactly, Bobby. Bobby says, probably just like YouTube adding numbers to our names. I don't know. I don't know. Tabitha says, ads are coming up, overlaying the entire live stream screen and not just popping up to the side of the popping off to the side. Guys, I don't know. I don't know. All I can say is YouTube. All I can say, YouTube. Esmeralda says, fold it in half. Fold it in half. Looks awesome. Love the great job, Ian. Thank you. Yeah, that is true. I could fold it in half. You're right. Hold it up that way. I'll do that for this row. Hello, Kathy Has Faith. Good to see you. Hope you're having a good day. No, don't fall off the table. So glad you don't fall out of your chair with the jump scares. You know, it may happen during the day. We'll see what happens. I mean, the first time my back was turned, so I didn't even see like the super chat pop up. All I had was the audio. And that, like, normally it's just me in here, and normally there's not a lot of other noises that happen. So I don't tend to expect noises happening when I'm here alone by myself in my sewing room, just doing my thing with y'all. Let's see. Jonathan did send me the, he sent me a picture of the screaming possum block. I think we talked about that, what, last week I think it was. Unfortunately, he does not have Facebook, so he's not able to post that in the Facebook group. I should have asked him if he would give me permission to post it myself, but I know a couple of people actually asked about it. So maybe, Jonathan, let me know if it's okay if I can post it in my Facebook group. He doesn't have Facebook, so I hate that that's... I wish there was like a communal place that we could go to and do all that, but I don't know. Jonathan says you can do that. Okay, cool. I just hit the camera. Awesome. Ah! I'm about to lose my table. I don't know, Melissa. I'm sorry. Unfortunately, that is out of my control, apparently. Christy says YouTube Premium is worth the money my husband spends. After having access to it, I don't know that I can go back to regular YouTube, to be completely honest with you. It is made a world of difference. I just hate that you have to pay for it. Stupid. But hey, it makes my money, so it helps me make money here, so I can't complain about it too hard. Even though I want to. Guys, I gotta say, we do have a great community here. I've been playing Fortnite a lot with Becca, and by myself too. I played Fortnite by myself as well, and I've got to say, you know, we here in the sewing online community have such an amazing, supportive, wonderful community. There are a lot of Fortnite streamers and other, you know, just community members in the Fortnite community. And I'm going to be honest with you, some of them make the game just not fun. They just make the game not fun. I have had not a lot. I've had some interactions, thankfully none over voice, because there is a voice feature on Fortnite if you choose to use it. I don't often do that publicly. It's mostly just with my friends that I'll use that feature, but even still, just the actions that people do in the game. Some people are really mean and just downright rude. It's just, they're very aggressive, they're very rude. It just makes the game not fun. So I want to show my appreciation to our awesome community, because y'all continue to support each other, like each other, you know, become friends, and even meet up in person, like Zaza and Kathy. So I think we have the best community here in the online space, and I appreciate y'all for being awesome and supporting and just being amazing, just being an amazing community. And I love that we've built this together and get to enjoy it. Charlotte says, my brother-in-law had given me a YouTube Premium, but suddenly YouTube took that away, saying we didn't live in the same house. How rude. I got Premium Lite now. Discord is a thing. Discord is a thing, but what I have found is a lot of people who don't have Discord or don't typically use Discord can get quite confused on that platform. And I'm talking about myself. It's a little bit of a confusing thing, and I think if I was to spend time and actually like sit down and use it, I think it would be better. But not everybody is, you know, technically inclined, and so it can make it kind of hard to. I don't think there's a perfect solution, right? There's always going to be a group of people who are affected by not being able to use it, whether it be Facebook, Discord, whatever. So I don't know. I don't know if there's a perfect solution out there, as much as I would love for there to be. Oh, I don't know why I did that. Zaza says she likes Discord. She's in a couple of Discord groups. Bobby says, I used to tell my friend's kid to stop playing when he was screaming at the game, and online people were rude. That's what I do. That's what I typically do. If I get to a point when I'm just like so incredibly frustrated by the, what is it, the demeanor of other players, I'm like, all right, I'm done. I'm walking away. Bye. Like, it sucks because there, you know, Fortnite has challenges that you can do, and one of the challenges is in a certain category of game within Fortnite, and I can't complete the task in order to get the reward because people are just being so incredibly rude that I can't even finish it, which really, it makes me sad. It really makes me sad because I would really like to have that reward, but, you know, if people are going to be incredibly rude like they are, like, it's just not going to happen, and I'm just not going to get it, and that's what it's going to be. There'll be other rewards in the future, but, you know, it'd be nice to actually complete a task, but nope. Nope. Let's see. Zaza says, I'm technically challenged and even I can use Discord. Well, apparently I'm not. Apparently I'm just not good at it. It's no fun to play, not at least right now. Take a break. Bobby, that is so true. That is so freaking true. Thankfully, there are other games within Fortnite, because Fortnite is like a collection of games. It's not just one game. Thankfully, I'm pretty good at some of the other types of games that they have in there, so I'll usually just say, "All right, I'm done here. I'll go somewhere else since y'all are gonna be mean and rude." It's frustrating for sure. It's frustrating. Hey Josh, good to see you. Lifting and Stitching. Josh is here, says hello everyone. Hope everyone's doing well. Doing great, Josh, thanks. Exactly, Bobby. It's supposed to be challenging and fun. And fun. And I think that's, you know, sure, challenging, get it. Totally get that. It's that fun part, right? It's that fun part and fun. That's like the biggest thing. I actually complained about it, and I was actually told by a random person, because I was like, you know what, it's just not fun to play this game because I take 2 steps and then that's it. I'm done. And can't even grab anything to defend myself with and whatnot in the game. And I got told, well, you should just get better then. Come on. Jeez. I'm like, thanks. Okay, cool. I didn't say anything. I actually just blocked the person. I was like, okay, cool. Done. Bye. Don't have time for you. Josh says, I played 2 battles of Royale in Fortnite about an hour ago to see how it would go. Not bad, fun. No audio. I don't have a headset for it, LOL. Well, if, you know, Josh, if we're going to play, you're going to have to get a headset, just saying. Just saying. Becca, Jason, and I were playing Fortnite last night, and we were having a lot of fun. We were on a team of 3 and having a lot of fun, you know, running around, and it was groups of 4, so it was teams of 3 and 4, and we were doing pretty well, actually. We were doing pretty well, in my opinion. They really are. Let's see. Anne says, trash-talking gamers are nasty. They really kind of are. Linda says she is doing some sewing while listening. Awesome. I hope you're working on a great project, Linda. So that's what I love about our community. There's no trash talking. Everybody's super friendly, and we all help and support each other. Because I'm going to be honest with you. If I knew that someone needed to complete a mission in order to get a reward, I would help that person out, even if it meant like I had to unalive in the game in order for them to be able, like, in order for a count to increase their count or whatever. Like, I would help that We're going to get off this subject. We're going to move on. I'm done. I'm done talking about it. So this is one side. Let's flip it around. Thank you, Josh. That's the other side. It's looking good. Loving how it's turned out. Love Loathingly Fair. A lot of my gaming groups use Discord. Even my horse racing game migrated from Gmail to it. That's funny. They really do. They really do, Roseanne. Geez, even bullies on games suck. They really do. They really, really do. Def Diablo says I was supposed to be sewing. Now I'm headed to future in-laws' house. My man is so mean sometimes. Oh no. I'm sorry. Sorry. That's good. Love Lovingly. She says that they were very supportive, at least. That's a good thing. I struggled in League, but mostly because my gaming group is 2 challengers, a diamond, and 3 gold. I'm sitting in green-gray, depending on the season, and spending 3 hours a day learning what just is too much. I get it. I get it. It is a lot to try and you know, do the things. Do all the things. Everyone has finally left, and I threw my ugly baby quilt in the trash, so I finally get to work on a fun project. Oh no! So Jonathan is dealing with the first time he's ever, I think he said this is the first time he's ever had to trash a project. He actually posted it on his Instagram. He was working on a baby quilt, and he did a poll. And he asked, like, does this look okay? Because he was not feeling really great about the project. And he didn't like the way it was turning out. Here's I'm gonna do an informal poll here. I would have to get up and actually go to the computer to do a poll. Have you ever thrown away a project that you knew it's just not working out? It's just not working out, and it's just gonna be too freaking much for you to finish. So have you ever thrown a project away? I know some of you have given projects away, like rehomed projects. Have you ever rehomed a project? So have you ever thrown a project away? And or have you ever rehomed a project? If you're watching this on the replay, you can always share your, you can share your answer in the comments down below this video. Let everyone know, have you ever thrown a project away, and or have you ever rehomed a project? Charlotte says, I'm making rope bowls while listening. I have a show in November, on November 15th. I've been through over 3,000 feet of rope since mid-August, and I have quite the inventory of rope bowls now. Awesome. Sounds like you're getting a little naughty over there. Lainey says, good morning, everyone. I love your channel. At church right now. I'll be back soon. Awesome. I hope you enjoy your time today. Oh, you know what? I didn't. Let's see. I have thrown away only one project ever, very early into my quilting beginnings, says Josh. Let's see. Zaza. Oh, Judy says, I just threw away an embroidery design on a towel this morning. Zaza says, I've gotten rid of a project I hated. Sewing is meant to be fun and enjoyable and not waste of time on something I hate. Michelle says, I've thrown away projects as well as sent some UFOs to Goodwill. I rehomed a, this is from Christy, she says, I rehomed a scrappy log cabin and I completely cut it up and sewed different blocks from a Jelly Roll race quilt that I hated. Sounds like a lot of people have had projects that they rehomed and or discarded. Betty says, I've thrown out a couple, but rarely. Let's see. Layla says, it's in a tub under fabric I'm less likely to ever use. So sounds like she's put a project in storage and it's just kind of hanging out in purgatory. Jonathan said, I was going to power through it, but I hated it so much that the construction wasn't up to my standards. I still have my integrity, so I'm calling it a loss and restarting. Dang it. Let's see. Betty says, I sometimes turn them into pet quilts and donate to rescues. Heard of people doing that too. Bobby says, I recently used a random block that I would have tossed for a round robin in the group, and the group made it beautiful. That's awesome, Bobby. Double check that I think, yeah, okay, that's fine. I was worried because it looked like my seam allowance got a little smaller than I would have liked it, but I think I got it back on track, and it's not small enough that I'm worried about it coming apart, so. Bobby says she'll post a picture of it on my Facebook group soon. Guys, don't forget about my Facebook group. We're coming up to the end of October. Can you believe that? Coming up to the end of October, and of course, I do like to feature some of your work in progress and or finishes on my Facebook group. Make sure to share those over in the Facebook group. We only had one member join last week, which makes me a little sad because I think we're, I don't remember how many members we have. But I want to grow that group bigger, so share with your friends, even if they don't follow me here on YouTube. Make sure to share with your friends and let them know that's a supportive community place that they can post if they so choose to. Get advice, show off finishes, and hang out with some pretty awesome people. So share that with your share that Facebook group with your friends. It is not a popularity contest, and I'm not trying to grow people in that group just for the fun of it. I would love to, just build up that community to be even bigger and better. Oh, thank you so much. Oops, I almost pushed the wrong button. There it is. My Scrappin' Mama just joined my membership here on YouTube. Thank you so much for your support. Hey, Def Diablo, I get it. There are people who don't use Facebook, and I completely understand 100%. She says, I should join, but honestly, I don't use Facebook. That is fair. I know that is, we talked about that just moments earlier, like, everybody, not everybody uses Facebook, so I get it. I totally get it. Again, I wish we had that perfect solution that everybody could use and be happy with, but Zaza's telling Jonathan, you did the right thing. It's not you, then it can be difficult to do that. It can be difficult to throw projects out. I think that's probably what she's talking about. I missed a little bit of the conversation trying to keep my eye on the chat and sewing at the same time, which is not easy. Very much not easy. Pat says, never threw out a project. If there's one, I'd probably in UFO. I've been quilted too long to remember. Goodness gracious, Pat. That's crazy. I don't think there's one that I've been... No, I lied. There is definitely one I threw away. Definitely one that I threw away. I kind of finished it, but like not all the way. That y'all may remember a few years ago, I worked on that jacket that I had started a long time ago. I did end up throwing that away when I moved. I just couldn't. I just couldn't. Couldn't be bothered. So I have done it too. I was about to say I've never done it. Nope, I have. I didn't want to move it. I didn't want to move it. I didn't want it to take up space. I was like, I'm just done. I'm just done. I'm just done. So I threw it away. I technically finished it, but like didn't put the buttons on, so it was finished, but not really. I don't know. I just realized I didn't, I need to do a quick little stitch on this end because I've got my open seam over here. So we're just going to quickly do a little steady stitch. Keep that in place. Fugal? I think that's Fugal. I haven't thrown out any away, but I have repurposed the fabric for other projects. By the way, I saw Kathy in the chat earlier. I didn't say hello to Sorry Kathy, but I saw you earlier and I'm still using my mug. Right now I have 4 that I'm rotating through. And that is one of them. Boop, 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 boop. Laura says, Zaza, same here. I don't go on Facebook much. There's too much negativity and I don't want that in my life. I do go to my groups from time to time. I think that's like, it's kind of what I do, to be honest. I feel like I spend more time in groups than I do anywhere else on Facebook. Alrighty, let's press this up. Nope. That's not what I wanted to do. There we go. You know what? I just realized I need to flip this around, I think. Yes, I do. I need to flip this around because the bars are supposed to go on top of the squares. So it actually looks like that. I probably should have taken a picture before I, you know, disassembled everything. But again, this quilt really doesn't matter. I tried my hardest to make sure that stuff didn't end up next to each other, but if it happens, it happens. If it happens, it happens. Let's see. Esmeralda says, I've never thrown out a project. I crochet and I pull the project apart and recrochet it all the time. Excuse me, all over again. Better the second time round. Went from wide to narrow. See, that's the easy-ish part about like crocheting, knitting, all that kind of stuff. You can just frog it. And I actually, so a long time ago, my friend and I, we took a trip to Vegas to go see her family, and she was crocheting. I think she was crocheting. She was crocheting a baby blanket for her nephew, I believe. And we're sitting on the plane. You know, the flight was like, what, 2.5 hours or so? And so she's working on it the whole time. She gets to the end where we've basically landed, and she's literally pulling the whole thing apart. I'm like, you just worked on that for 2 hours. And she's like, yeah, I was wrong. I was like, but like, and she's like, oh, I'll just do it again. I'm like, oh, okay, all right, cool. With fabric, it doesn't quite work like that. You know, you cut the fabric, it's cut. There's nothing you can do about it. I mean, you can freaking grow it and stuff like that, but like, once you cut the fabric, it's cut. So can't magically grow the pieces back out again. Let's see here. Deborah says, hey there, everyone. I got to work and the toilet was overflowing. Oh no, my boss said to come back in an hour and he will have it cleaned up. What a great boss that I don't have to clean it. That's really nice. That's awesome. Normally you recognize the name as a different, that's Deborah. Normally you see her username a little bit different. And she always points out that she's Deborah at work, and right now she's not at work because the toilet is overflowing. What a crappy way to start the day, huh? Deborah, if I remember correctly, you work for a storage place of some kind, like one of those storage rental places. If I remember correctly, this may be, I may have I've slept since then, but I did just close my storage unit. It was getting to be too expensive, so found some storage solutions and no longer after tomorrow we'll have the storage unit. And I'm actually kind of happy about that. Arash says, evening, Ian and everyone. Hope you are all having a great day. Hello. I thought so, Deborah. I thought I was correct on that. All right, so we're going to fold this in half. Joan is back and she says, hello again, Ian and everyone in the chat. I just finished cutting out Becca's block of the month for October, so I had to concentrate. But listening, doing the 9 inches, and for those 5/8 and 7/8 are horrible. Yes, they are. They're not fun. They are not fun. All right, so any measurements like that, come on, stay to the quarter, half, you know, 3/4, all that kind of stuff. Come on. There we go. I think this is right side up. Yep, there it is. So there's half of it, and then we flip it around so that way you see the other half of it. Ta-da! There we go. All right. Oh, sorry. Sorry, I got distracted by the chat. I'm sitting here and trying to read the chat and I get super distracted. Deborah says, people have had storage with us for over 20 years. I'm currently looking for storage facility to buy. Great money income. I can believe that, Deborah. I can believe that it is a great money income and that people have had them for a long time. When the price goes up over $100, I'm out. I'm out. I understand that there are costs and things involved with it, but I can't justify that for my budget right now. Nothing against the industry and such, but I just can't justify that. Money coming in is great, but money going out, not so much. Def Diablo says, curves, zippers, and animals get me. Laura says, my husband just built a 2.5 car garage unit for Storage Solutions. I've been trying to convince him it would be the perfect sewing studio. There you go. I like how your brain works. Love Loathingly says, that's awesome. We had storage unit when moving and realized when emptying it, it could have been bought. I could have bought everything new in it and paid less for the storage. We didn't put anything sentimental in it. See, that right there is it. A lot of what was in the storage unit, in fact, most of what was in the storage unit was nothing sentimental. It wasn't anything of that kind of nature. And so it was kind of like, you're exactly right. I could have bought everything in that storage unit over again for the amount that we paid for this storage unit. Deborah, I am not knocking your work at all. Please do not feel like that. Don't feel like I'm attacking your work. I'm not. There are many times when that works and is needed for things, and I totally understand that. But I'm, you know, having been here for a year and seeing how much I've paid for the storage unit and everything else, it didn't make sense for me, right? So it was time to close the storage unit, save some money, and get some better storage solutions. Zaza says, Laura, you mean he didn't offer to it? Didn't offer it to you first with the winking emoji, right? That would have made a super husband right there. Ooh, it's a little toasty in here. I thought I was going to wear a long sleeve because it was going to be chilly, but I'm kind of burning up in here. I'm burning up for your love. Zaza says, I have sentimental things that belong to my grannies. That stuff means nothing to my kids, though, so they'll probably get rid of it. I mean, my mom has definitely told me on some things, she's like, just throw it away. I'm like, okay. There are definitely, so talking about things that are sentimental, I'm going to come back to me for a second here. Oh, I've been on me. Camera switching. I'm so, anyways, doesn't matter. So funny story about my dad. My dad worked at a science museum for a very, very long time, like 20 years or something like that. It was a ridiculous amount of time. And he had, I believe he had more keys than security. I think he had every single key in that building known to man. And remember that this is long before key cards and all that kind of stuff, although he did have a key card in the later years. But he had a janitor's size key ring of keys, and I loved playing with them as a kid because, you know, shiny keys, fun to play with as a kid, right? But he had key after key after, I can't even express like how many keys he had. But that suddenly kind of became his signature. Like, he always had his keys on his belt, and like people would hear the jingling and know that he's coming and all that kind of stuff. And at his service, at his funeral service, we actually placed the key ring and keys on the table next to the it's not the autograph book, the what is that thing called? The book where people sign and they can write notes and stuff like that. Anyways, we put it next to that, and like people said, I remember distinctly somebody saying like, I was holding it together until I saw his keys on the table, and like I lost it then. So like those keys are super sentimental to the people that know him, but anybody else would be like, their keys, get rid of them. So Book of Remembrance, there you go. That thing. That is true. Love Loathingly. Storage is great for short term. Absolutely. If you are moving and, or, you know, stuff like you need stuff for short term, absolutely that is a great solution. And honestly, if I was only going to be here for a little bit of time, I think that would have made sense. Absolutely. But I'm planning on staying here for a few more years, and it didn't make sense anymore. And I'm so sorry. I do love me some Costco. I just wish they wouldn't advertise over my video. Guest book. That's what I was thinking of. Guest book. That's it. That's it. Josh says, thank you so much for sharing that story about your dad's memory of the keys. What a great story. You know, it's one of those things that, like, people just, if you're walking off the street, you would have no, like, you would see the keys and be like, what? But, like, those who knew, they know. Like, that was kind of his signature, if you will. I swear to goodness, though, he had every single key. He had so many keys, he didn't even know where all of them went. Like, factually, he did not know where all of them went. He would be like, well, this one, I don't remember this one goes. It's like, then why is it on your keychain? Well, I might need it. Okay. Irish Sale Lady is here and says, good afternoon. I went to Costco and just finished breaking down meats for freezing and putting groceries away. Glad you are still on. Yep, I'm still on. Irish Sale Lady, I thought about you the other day. I saw a video on Instagram. I think it was Instagram. There was a lady sewing, and she was sewing on ship sails, and she had literally rigged her sewing machine like with ropes hanging on them, like hanging the machine up so that way she could get it high enough to sew the sail. It was funny. I was like, oh my gosh, I thought of you. I was like, Irish Sail Lady's probably done this. Anne says, can't throw them away. You may need them. Exactly. Exactly. What's interesting to me is I visited my dad's grave several times before leaving the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And there was definitely one time when I visited his grave and I opened the car door and I like looked, I don't even know why I looked down, but I looked down outside the car door and there was a key. There was a freaking key on the ground and not even shine. It was like, it had been there for a while. It had been there for a while. It was not shiny. It was not new. It was whatever. And I was like, thank you, Dad. Like that was a sign right there from him. I'm like, okay. I don't know what everybody believes in, but I definitely was like, that's his calling card right there, and he is saying hello. Did I take the key? Yes. I did take the key. Who knows? Probably somebody in the office has been looking for it. I'm sure it's fine. It had been there a long time, though. You could tell. Absolutely, Bobby. Absolutely. I 100% agree. That was absolutely his sign. It's a fun story, Deb. It is a really fun story, and it was definitely a hello from him. Hello, Flicky Chicky. Welcome. Not sewing the sewing machines, but I do have a raised table for laying out and cutting down the sails. I guess she was doing repairs like on the ship, which was weird. So, thank you, Esmeralda. I appreciate that. Absolutely. Josh says, he says, totally, I firmly believe that there are signs, 100%. I absolutely believe there are signs, and they give us signs. Flicky Chica was playing with Ophelia and Opalite plus Kitty. Kitty, awesome. Some have a tradition of leaving stones on grave markers showing that he was visited. You should leave a key each time you visit. I should. That would be something, wouldn't it? Actually, I feel like I did. I feel like my brain is, I've slept since then. I feel like I went to like Home Depot, and I bought a blank key. I didn't have them cut it or anything. I just purchased the key as is, because they have all those key blanks and they're like, $2.99 or something like that. And I feel like I left a blank one. It wasn't the same one. I can guarantee. I know somebody might be like, oh, it was the same key that you left. It was not. It was not the same key that I left, because this one actually was cut and all that. And the one I left was blank. So I did leave a key. I feel like I did. It's been so long. I feel like I did leave a key at some point, a blank key. They were a little confused when I checked out why I wanted a blank key, but, whatever. Ever since my mom passed away in July, when I see a butterfly, I feel like I'm saying it's her saying hello. It could be. It absolutely could be. I believe that. I always tend to look up at the clock when it's 11:11, either 11:11 in the morning or night. It happens quite frequently, and I know that's a pretty common. I think they call those angel numbers. I think a lot of people have that happen, but like, I really feel like Anne says, grab old ones on your. I think she meant thrift stores, maybe? I'm not 100% sure, but I think so. Love Loathingly says, when I moved away from home, I bought my first home. I renewed my locks to our house key so that a family could come in anytime and always had a key when visiting. That's awesome. My grandma always picks up pennies on the street, and I think of her when I see a penny. Yeah, so a lot of times I'll look at the clock right at 11:11. I don't know why, it just happens. But then again, a lot of people seem to have that one. That seems to be a pretty frequent. Oh, I forgot to. After I iron this, I've got to go do that stay stitch really quick. I know a lot of people have the 11:11 show up a lot for them, so that one's not uncommon, but it happens. Absolutely happens. Here you go, getting all sentimental when I was about to jump scare you with the super chat. That's funny, Jonathan. Sorry to foil your plans. Oh, that's what you've missed today so far, Flicky Chicky. You've missed the jump scares. Apparently my notification volume somehow got set way too high on super chats. It's higher than all the any other notification, which I don't know why, but whatever. So people have been jump scaring me today. Jump scare? We've got about 30 more minutes. I have 2 more rows to complete. I don't think we're going to, unfortunately, be able to put the whole quilt together today. I would love to continue on today, but I'm tired. I stayed up far too late playing Fortnite last night and got some things to do. I also need to pop over to Becca's because I need to give Zoe her birthday gift, because today is her birthday. Happy birthday to Zoe. So I'm going to pop over there really quick and give her her birthday present. Her birthday prezzy. I did do the stay stitch on this side, so that's good at least. Oh, there you go. Josh says 30 more minutes is a good timing. That's the sourdough ball folding time. Awesome. Sounds like Josh makes his own sourdough. Gloria says, I love the story about your dad and the keys. I believe in signs sent from heaven. They're letting us know that they are watching over us. I couldn't agree more. Ian, are you dressing up for Halloween? I don't know. I don't know if I am or not. If I end up over at Becca's, I probably will dress up. Oh, hey, how did I... Wait a minute. Did I miss? I've got 2 of the same block next to each other. Same style of block, I should say. Did I mess something? Hold on. I'll show you what happened. I have two of the same block next to each other. Let me see if... I think this one is... Oh, that's what happened. I see what happened. Okay, all right, we can fix that. That's not bad. We just have to take the one off of here. Out comes the seam ripper. Adam's here, long time no see. Good to see you, Adam. I know it has been a hot minute, hasn't it? Feels like just yesterday. Let me seam rip this, because apparently I got it backwards. Probably when I laid them out, I was not paying attention and ended up putting the same type of block next to each other. So we'll just seam rip, because on this last row, it is mismatched as well. So we're just going to rip this seam really quick and redo it. Redo it. Flatten this back out. Whoops. There we go. And we will seam rip this one. Oh no, why do melons have weddings? They can't elope. Oh boy, Flicky Chicky. We're going in that direction today, huh? Is that how it's gonna be? Like I said, Adam was a part of the panel discussion yesterday, which was really great to have him on. Had a great time chatting with him at the sewing retreat, virtual sewing retreat. It was actually a really good panel. We had some really good discussions. Oops. There we go. Love Loathingly says, my Chihuahua was just whining and shaking because he's cold, so I took a break from cleaning to hold him. Aw. Like, Mama, hold me. I'm chilly. I'm chilly. All right. So we're gonna put that over there. We're gonna put this one on here. Oh, I need to press it first. You know, I thought I had everything ready to go, and then this happens. Oh no, Flicky Chicky back in the... Every time her name's popping up now, I'm like, uh-oh. Uh-oh, did you hear about the guy stealing wheels off police cars? The cops are tirelessly searching for him. Yikes. 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 Terrible. Terrible, Flicky Chicky. Boo. Boo. Marion says, I should be cleaning, but I'm sewing instead. Well, nothing wrong with that. Mess will always be there. Your sewing projects won't. Nicole says, I'm tired today. Amazon kept pushing the time back for last night's delivery. I stayed up too late and then finally delivered my stuff today. Oh boy. Don't you hate it when that happens? You're expecting a package from from them, and it just keeps getting later and later and later, and you're like, what's going on? And then they're like, oh, we'll deliver tomorrow. And you're like, well, but I needed my stuff today. Well, too bad, you'll get it tomorrow. Okay, thanks. Thanks so much. For nothing. For nothing. Uh-oh. Okay, there we go. Scared myself for a moment. I thought I had sewn over double layer, but it was the same layer, so we're good. Everything's good. Oh, Sean's here. Good afternoon. Hey, Sean, good to see you. Make sure to check out Sean's channel if you haven't already. How was your breaky yesterday? There we go. All right. Okay, so this row is not going to go on yet. We're going to throw that one off to the side. Whee! We're going to put this one on. We're going to work on putting this one back together. Les Delma's here and says, hello Ian and everybody in chat. I know I'm late, but so much has been happening today that I haven't had a chance to do any sewing. Well, I'm glad you're here now. And I hope all the things that have been happening are good things, because that's what we want. Amazon, Nicole says, Amazon says they were 10 stops away and then never showed up until today, but I have our new TV all set up for the hubby. Oh, that's nice. I could see why you wanted to stay up for that. I would not want that hanging out on my porch all night long. Because I was like, well, like, why didn't you go to sleep? Or like, just be like, whatever. But that makes perfect sense. 100%. I would stay up for television as well, making sure that it got delivered correctly. Yikes. Oh boy. Makes perfect sense. There we go. All right, I think we are back on track now. Glad I took the time to be like, nope, this isn't right. Let's just change it. Let's just change it and get it corrected so that way when I put the whole quilt together, I don't freak out over that. You know, would it have been a big deal? No. It would not have, excuse me, it would not have been a big deal. And it would have been just fine the way it is. However, I would know it's there and that would bug me and I would be upset about it. But I'm not, because I went through and I fixed it, took the time to really fix it. Esmeralda says, Ian, please hug her for me and tell her happy birthday for me. Yes, you and Becca should dress up. Rip it very carefully. You are still doing an awesome job. Thank you, Esmeralda. I appreciate that very, very much. All right, so I think we have fixed our row. Everything is good now. So I'm going to put this one. By the way, this is the third row, I believe. Third row? I don't remember which row it is, but this is the updated fixed row. Now looks so much better now that I have it the right way. And put this one, we'll grab this one because I have a design floor, not a design wall. going to be a big quilt. It's going to be a really, really big quilt. So there we go. Looks like that. See, this is, whoops. No, this one. Yeah, that's, wait, it's upside down. It's upside down. It's supposed to go this way. That's the new last part that I just put on right there, so. Oof, goodness. Flicky Cheeky says, I helped someone rip out all the quilting on a queen-sized quilt yesterday. Oof, you are a good friend. You are a very good friend. All right. Two more rows. Probably this is going to be the last one we're going to get through today. I don't remember. Did I do stay stitching on that last one? I don't remember. You know what? I may have reversed everything. After the live stream is over with, I'm going to have to go back through and... No, okay. No, maybe I did. I don't know. I may have reversed it, is maybe what happened. Oh, well, whatever. It's fine. I'm sitting here going like, maybe I took the top and put it over to the right side instead of the left side. Now I'm worried this whole thing is messed up. We will find out on another episode of As This Quilt Turns. Because I'm sitting here thinking maybe I took the top one off and pushed it to the right side instead of the left side. Lifting and Stitching says, as your friend, I know I too would have known it's there and would have bothered me in support of your brotherhood state. You're welcome. There you go. Oh, okay. Flicky Chicky has the electric shaver, just like I have, to help her unzip or unquilt quilts, and that does make the job work faster for sure. Work smarter, not harder. Exactly. Exactly. That, if you've never used an electric shave trimmer to do seam ripping, it is the best thing ever. It made unquilting a quilt so much easier. So much faster. Still took a good amount of time, don't get me wrong, but it made it 20 times faster than if I was doing it all by hand. Whoops. Exactly, Zaza. Even with the shaver, it's still not a fun job to do. That is correct. It is not a fun job to do. It's not fun. I fully 100% say that. Flicky Cheeky says, it still takes a full morning, but better than hand ripping a dense quilt at 90 by 90. Abso-freaking-lutely. I would not want to do that by hand with a, you know, a single seam ripper. That would not be fun. Just doing the fox quilt that I have by myself, it still took a hot couple of days to do it because I would work on it for a few hours and then be like, done. I can't do anymore. Hello, Sandy. How are you? Oops. What pattern is the quilt you are making? This is the sampler, fat quarter sampler. If you look down in the description, Flicky Cheeky, it has the link. You can also type !pattern in the chat. It'll bring it up. It is a free pattern from Material Girls. So feel free to download the pattern. I was stupid and decided to make a 90 by 90 quilt because I had so many fat quarters that I was like 27 fat quarters. Why the heck not? Well, because now it's a 90 by 90 quilt. That was silly. That was silly. But it'll be good. It'll be nice when it's all done. Oops. I grabbed two. Sandy says, I'm great. I am in the car, so I won't be doing much typing. Listening to you guys is great. It is nice to listen in the car, just stuff like that. I love listening to podcasts in the car. I think that is pretty awesome. I regularly make 108-inch quilt squares. Bless Chris and his 118-inch wide backs. No kidding. Whoops. Zaza says, Ian, at least you can borrow Becca's long arm to quilt it. You won't have to fight it through the domestic machine. Absolutely. I think even if Becca didn't have her machine, I would be sending this out to someone. Maybe Chris. Chris from Rose City Originals does quilting services, so I'd probably be sending it out to him if I wasn't doing it myself. Because, woo! Ooh, doggy. It just fell off the table. There we go. Come on. Stay. Roseanne says, and it'll be long enough for you to use. That is true. That is very true. We know that I am a tall 6'2", so it'll be nice that I can actually have a quilt to crawl under and fit all the way down to my toes. There you go, Flicky Cheeky. Flicky Cheeky says, "There. Now I know what I'm going to be using the Pushing Daisies line from Rose City Originals to make. This would be a great one for that, actually." Is there a short 6'2"? I mean, technically, no. Lynn, I'm glad that you're sticking with it. Sorry that you're having so much trouble today. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Sorry about the frustration. Let's see, did I do the stay stitch at the front? Probably not. I sure did not. Let's fix that really quick. We'll press it and then we will be done for today. Probably will go live either on YouTube or TikTok. I don't know which. Both, one, other, I don't know. We'll figure it out. But I probably will go live somewhere and I will finish it up maybe during the week sometime. I don't know. Just depends on how I'm feeling and what I decide to do. Ooh, my hip just popped. My hip was like, pow! I was like, oh! Whoa, something just happened. What just happened? Somebody subscribed. The computer is too far away for me, unfortunately, so I can't see who that was. But thank you so much. Greatly appreciate you subscribing. Almost done. We just got to press these last few seams. And I am going to take the pieces that I've sewn together into the other room and lay them out and make sure that they are going in the right order. Whoa! Jump scare! Thank you to Jonathan. Thank you for the jump scare. I'm going to take these into the other room after I get off the live stream here, just to make sure that I feel like I may have switched the directions by accident. I think everything will be fine, but before I sew this last row together, I want to double check that everything is good and that I haven't made a mistake and caused myself a headache in the long run. But thankfully, there's one more row to go and I think I can order everything to be just fine. All right. Show off this row. Got him. Deborah says, I just got back from lunch and my boss told me to take the rest of the day off with pay. Wow, that's awesome, Deborah. What a great boss. That is amazing. All right, so here is the front. There we go. So it looks like that. And then that. So there we go. I am going to, oh, I did change. Okay, all right, that's fine. I messed up the order, so I'm gonna have to play around a little bit with reordering them to make sure that it goes in the correct order of A blocks and B blocks. I did apparently switch something somewhere along the way during the day. I must have flipped two of the pieces to go opposites the way that they should, but that is okay. I'll lay them back out, make sure that nothing is too terribly off, but I think it should all be fine. And thankfully, I still have one more row to sew together, and if need be, I can switch pieces there. So, should be good. Possibly will be on Becca's Live Friday, not 100% sure. We haven't really thought about it. Well, there's a few more things to think about, but we will hopefully let you know. So I may be there, I may not. Don't expect me. But it'd be, you know, think of it as a fun treat if I do show up on Becca's Live Friday. Next week, I'm going to try and finish this project up during the week. If on the off chance I don't finish it up, we may finish it up on the live stream next week, even though it's after Halloween. But otherwise, we'll be working on another project, which I don't even know what the next project's going to be. As I'm sitting here looking at things, I don't know what the next project will be, but we'll figure it out. Hope everybody has a great day. Thanks for hanging out with me. If you have Becca's membership to her VIP shows, make sure to head over to the Zoom and enjoy your time in the Zoom for the rest of the day. I hope everybody has a great day. And remember, guys, normal is just the setting on the dryer. We'll see everybody next time. Bye! Oh, I gotta go to this page. Bye!